right, we're in it. Welcome to another episode of the Waters Run Deep podcast. Got myself, Chris, joined with Amanda and Angela. Please remember to rate and review on your podcast platform of choice. And we're going to reach out to us. You can reach out to us through Instagram, TWRD_podcast, or you can shoot us an email at the Waters Run Deep podcast at gmail.com. The Waters Run Deep podcast at gmail.com. Please remember to tell your friends and family, your mailman, all that fun stuff about our podcast. Let them check us out. The more listeners we get, the more stuff we can do. And if there's a specific topic you want to hear, please reach out to us and let us know. If you want to be a guest and come on the show and talk with us and talk about a specific subject, please let us know. And turn it over to Amanda for some Wacky World news.
All right. Thanks, Chris. Mm-hmm. So this news popped up in my feed a couple days ago. And then I realized it actually got bigger attention as I think people discovered it. So I'm going to read the title from my one article that I found that I think is great. And I'll talk about it. So, Howdy-Doody. Police stop Nebraska man for driving with huge bull and passenger seat. So a car driving with a bull in it was pulled over by police in northeast Nebraska. Don't worry, he didn't steer.
Love the bad dad joke.
Mm-hmm. But it didn't take long for officers to track down the Crown Vic that had been modified with the bull riding shotgun after a 911 call was made on the highway entering the city. And I didn't say what city, but I'm assuming it was probably Lincoln. It says that they're heading to Nebraska's biggest rodeo parade. Oh, I don't know. Yeah. So there's a picture of it. It's super interesting. So
Neligh to Norfolk?
Neligh to Norfolk. Okay. I think they say it Norfolk, not Norfolk.
Yeah.
So,
well, you know.
There was a bull riding shotgun?
Yeah. I'll send you a picture.
How in the world did he get the bull in the passenger seat?
That is the $1,000,000 question.
Would you look at that? That's in like old Crown Vic, it looks like. Or a Taurus, one of the other.
No, it's a Crown Vic.
It's a Crown Vic.
I love how he has the added mirror on the front left driver's side corner of the hood. I guess to keep a eye on the passenger side bullhorn so it doesn't clip something on the way down.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel bad because the poor bull's eyes are probably like rot driving with the wind. I can't imagine
he's going that fast, though, right? Because like that bull has to be pretty fucking like heavy.
Well, the thing about it too is, how does he get him to sit still?
I just sent you another picture that I think might explain.
Oh, there we go. There's the cage.
Yeah, there's like a cage. I'm gonna post this on Instagram for our folks who haven't seen it. It's like
he won shit all over that car.
Entry.
He shit all over that car. Holy hell!
Oh my god! I think this car used to be a police car. Because if you look,
it looks like it. 911. That's hilarious.
It's like he won this car, the auction, and was like, "I know what I'm going to do with it."
There is bullshit.
And someone said, like, so the article says that clearly he broke some traffic violations, but they're really not sure which one. But they did let him off with a warning as long as he turned around and took the bull home. Oh, the bull's name is Howdy-Doody.
Huh.
So, and they said the amount of money that he spent on the whole darn project between the car and the bull could have cost for a brand new kitchen.
Wow. I love how his tag is boy and dog.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah. That's one way to get your bull to the parade.
I'm trying to figure out what's
really fun because I want you to imagine going down the highway and you see this. Like, I feel like I don't know if I would have called the police. I think I would have been like, and just kept going. But maybe that's because we're from Baltimore. And I'm used to like the car with like the dead kid heads on it, you know?
Yeah, the art vehicles downtown.
Right. Maybe that's why I was been like, oh, okay.
Yeah, we're a little desensitized by it. I think the bull is a lot bigger though than any of the art cars.
Yeah, but would you call the cops?
I definitely want to call the cops. I mean, unless that animal looked like it was in pain. Why would you?
Yeah.
I just feel like
maybe also because we learn that snitches get stitches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got some big old horns on that sucker, ain't it?
Howdy-Doody could kill you.
Oh yeah. Wow. Wow. I have not seen this, by the way. You said I thought I might have seen that one. I haven't seen it.
Well, at first I was like, oh, I just saw it. And then it started popping up on like actual news feeds. And I was like, oh, you may have read this. But it took me a couple minutes to like figure out what I was looking at when I first got it. I was like, what is happening? And then because Nebraska is our wonderful neighbors to the northeast, I was like, oh, is it coming to Colorado? Like, we have a lot of random shit that happens like that here.
I can imagine.
Come in January, we have the largest stock show in the country.
The largest yak show?
Stock show. There are yaks there. So stock, like there's cows and pigs and chickens and rodeos and
okay.
My favorite is called Mutton Button. You know what a mutton button is?
No, please tell me.
Little baby children, like little kiddos, like Emma, ride goats. I think they're goats. Feet. And it's like bull riding, but with feet and little humans. And it's called Mutton Button.
My goodness.
That is the most adorable thing I've ever heard.
It's so cute. And it's like, I remember the first time I saw it, I was like, what is happening? You know, as a city girl. And I was like, this is fantastic.
That's great.
Horse shows, all that stuff. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So, cattle auctions. Yeah. It's coming in January.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's our Wacky World news. Pretty weird. Thanks a lot, Nebraska. We appreciate all that you're doing. And that poor Howdy-Doody, I hope you made it home safe.
Or at least won an award or something.
Best car entry.
I think that means he's
Which makes me wonder, is this a thing?
Well, it's a parade. They were apparently involved in a parade from that sign, and apparently he was entering himself in as the best car. I hope he won.
That's amazing.
Because that's like a one and done modification. You know, you don't do that and just drive around with the car after that. It's it is what it is.
You can't replace the windshield and the frame and get that shit off the side.
No. You can have a half a convertible now. Modified T-top Crown Vic.
I'm actually surprised it like held the weight of that bull on the suspension.
Yeah. That's a lot.
That's what I said.
Let's see, modify.
Like, do you think he like added more?
Yeah.
Because a bull is every bit of at least a ton, if not more. I'd say 1.5 tons.
Yeah. Howdy-Doody looked like he was closer to 1.5 tons.
Yeah. He's a big
boy.
Them horns are a couple 100 pounds, I'm sure, each. Or, well, together. At least 100 pounds. Fun stuff.
Yep. All right, Ange, over to you for our topic of the day.
All right. Well, this is Amanda's favorite topic, apparently. So I get to talk about it. So birds aren't real. Which isn't a real conspiracy theory after all.
No.
Which I thought was very interesting. The more I read into it. So it was created by Peter Mcindoe. I think that's how you say his last name. In January of 2017, as a spontaneous joke, he liked the idea of someone protesting for something completely random from the actual protests. He claimed that all the birds in the U.S. were exterminated by the federal government between 1959 and I think the vice video said 2001, but on the Wikipedia page it said 1971, and were replaced by lookalike drones to spy on people. The specifics of this theory aren't really consistent with what Peter and his team put together as far as backstory to it, but they claim that birds sit on power lines to recharge themselves, that birds poop on cars as a tracking method, and that John F. Kennedy was assassinated by the government due to his reluctance to kill the birds.
Holy cow, they really went wild with that one, didn't they?
Yeah, I thought so too.
So the whole, I don't know, the pooping on cars for tracking, they track a lot of people then.
Brilliant. That's what you're saying. It's a brilliant idea. Go away.
Yeah.
It is. So to give you a little bit of background on Peter, he grew up in a deeply conservative and religious community with 7 siblings and was homeschooled and taught that evolution was a massive brainwashing plan.
He was homeschooled. But on the 7th day, God created man in the dinosaurs, in the whatever gun it was to kill. Never mind. This is Mean Girl.
So he was taught that evolution was a massive brainwashing plan by the Democrats and Obama was the Antichrist, which
I could buy the first part.
Yeah. So
evolution's a bullshit.
Yeah. He said he was basically raised by the internet and gathered much of his real world information and education from it, and that social media was his gateway to mainstream culture. Because he is youngish, so he's not like in our age bracket where we had to go to the library and look up information and access to the World Wide Web. So he grew up in it. So he's more in my brother's age bracket as far as that goes, where he had it at his fingertips his entire life. So putting together my notes. So he created it, like I said, back in 2017. It was during a pro-Trump Women's March where he first spoke about it and was filmed, and that's where it became the viral internet sensation.
So so did he push it as a joke? Or is he okay, all right.
Yeah, it was a joke because, like I said earlier, that he liked the idea of someone protesting for something completely different than what people were actually protesting for. So he just thought of the most random words.
On a deeper level, though, he's showing how conspiracy theories start, right? Or these crazy ideas start. Because he's like, I'm going to make up something. I'm going to make it I can kind of honestly see how possible that is. If I didn't actually see birds every day,
Because yeah, I could see that. I don't know. They've had those people where they've done those walk up things where they ask people walking down the street or people that are protesting. There's a guy, I think it's a documentary, and I can't remember what channel it's on right now, but it's this guy walking around. It's something to do with women and transgenders or something like that. And this guy walking up to people and say, what is a woman? And people can't describe it, or and then they ask them, they go to these protests and say, hey, what are you protesting? And they're like, oh, I don't even know, and it's that's frustrating. The main part of it is that people are at these protests and have no idea even the true definition of what they're protesting. I guess support is support, but I feel if you're going to be there doing it, you should at least know what you're doing,
Exactly.
Yeah, I think that's pretty interesting to me. And I feel this is also kind of a way for him to say that his upbringing was kind of a joke too. The so conservative, far crazy bat, right?
Yeah, and I agree with that. There is a point. I love my conspiracies within reason, but getting to that level is just crazy.
Yeah, this was more
we've talked about
conspiracy theory.
Right.
Yeah.
You've talked about how QAnon, that's a big one that we've talked about. Like, we would love to like tap into it, but it's just so fucking crazy that we don't know how to like do it without like being rude, but also being like, you nutbag.
Yeah, I mean, there's apparently still drops happening with that too. I didn't realize that, but they're still doing drops. It's not nearly as often, but there apparently was one this year at some point.
But like, they proved that it's this dude making shit up. Like, there's a whole Vice. Is it Vice on HBO? There's a whole documentary about it.
There was one on HBO too.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, which is just interesting. Anyways.
Yeah,
continuing, tell me how birds aren't real.
Well, I don't really go into like specifics other than, just how there's no real consistent story to it. But so because of the age he grew up in, he's Gen Z. So a lot of other Gen Z-ers have taken to this conspiracy theory because of how absurd it is. And as an effort to thumb their nose at fight and poke fun of the misinformation. So one of his supporters, her name was Clara Cronus, was the organizer for the Birds Aren't Real Pittsburgh location. She said, "My favorite way to describe the organization is fighting lunacy with lunacy." So
this is like a movement to go against conspiracy theorists. It sounds like. Well, I think you said that, but that's kind of what it is.
And that all the misinformation, and like you guys were just talking about how you want to make sure if you're going to support something, you at least know what you're supporting instead of just going there and being like, I don't know why I'm here.
Yeah.
So Peter said,
supporting lunacy with lunacy is my favorite way to support lunacy.
So Peter is also quoted saying, "Dealing in a world of misinformation for the past few years, we've been really conscious of the line we walk. The idea is meant to be so preposterous that we make sure nothing we're saying is too realistic. That's a consideration coming out of character. Or I'm sorry, that's a consideration with coming out of character." So from 2017 to about 2022 January, he was like in this character. So he'd get dressed up in a suit, and wear a cowboy hat and go around to all these different protests and have just have people chanting "Birds Aren't Real." Had the bird van. So there was his first interview in January 2022, which was the Vice profile on him. And then in May 2022, he was interviewed by 60 Minutes. He started off the interview in character, but later broke character and described the purpose behind creating this satirical movement. So it's taking this concept of misinformation, almost building a little safe space to come together with it and laugh at it rather than be scared by it and accept the lunacy of it all and be a bird truther for a moment in time where everything's going crazy. So, in a way, it's a cool way to bring people together, and just, have a laugh and see how many people actually like buy it.
Yeah, because I look, like I said, I'm full for the conspiracy and being into conspiracy theories. But like I said, there's definitely a line where it's like, I don't buy into all of them. I don't buy into most of them. I have my favorites, and some of them I like, not necessarily because I believe them, but it's just so fascinating, the stories that make you think like, oh, wow, I could kind of see that. That's more or less what I like. I don't think the government's out to get us. I don't think that the government's aiming to destroy us. I mean, if they were, why would they do that? Their whole reason for their existence is us. Like if we're not here and we're not living, right, there's no need for them. They all would lose everything they have. The power that they do have, the influence that they have, the income that they have. So I just don't buy that they're full-fledged like looking to end us. And I know that's a lot of conspiracy theorists tend to be anti-government, but I don't agree with that at all. Anti-government. I support the government 100% in the aspect that, of course, everything could be better, but I don't think they're beyond reprise. I don't think that, I get that they hide stuff for us for a reason. There's some things that we don't need to know or can't know because it could aid our enemies or whatever. So I don't know. I think it is a great way to bring people together by far. What was did he have like a conspiracy theory that like caused him to do this? The one that he didn't like or anything like that? Or is it just in general?
I watched the Vice profile, and I'm actually going to play like the last few minutes of it when we kind of wrap up. And he just was like, I'm here at this rally and just thinking of random words that people could get behind. And I just wanted to start screaming them. And that's where he just came up with birds aren't real. And it just like kind of grew from there. So, I mean, have you gotten a chance to check out the website? Because that's also, it's fun. So his friend Connor Gatiss helped him develop the written history of the movement, concocted elaborate theories, and produced fake documentaries or documents and evidence to support all his wild claims. And Peter said it basically became an experiment in misinformation. We were able to construct an entirely fictional world that was reported on as fact by local media and questioned by members of the public. So I guess the one good thing for them, since it was kind of like not that harmful, like you were saying, Chris, like how most conspiracy theories think there's, some harm to us as a society. This one really hasn't. Like the positive for him and Peter and Connor and, everyone else involved as far as the merchandising is they use the profit to, fund their own living expenses. So none of it went to go to any harm. Peter said, everything we've done with Birds Aren't Real is made to make sure it doesn't tip into where it could have a negative end result on the world. It's a safe space for people to come together and process the conspiracy takeover of America. It's a way to laugh at the madness rather than be overcome by it.
Yeah. The merch is pretty nice. I mean, it's pretty cool merch. A little pricey, but it's like $34 for a t-shirt.
I mean, that's kind of in line with some things. I mean, with me going to concerts and stuff, like $25 is like the low end, and then t-shirts can go up to like $55. So it's that's true. In the middle.
I guess I don't know, not knowing the quality of the shirt, I guess, but that's a good point.
So one of the questions on the FAQ is, I have a pet bird. What do I do? And it said, not to startle you, but you have a highly advanced governmental surveillance drone in your house, watching your every movement, picking up every word of your conversation, and sending that data to the Pentagon. Pet birds actually were unheard of before 2001, when all birds became surveillance drones. At this time, the government started normalizing the campaign for pet birds. If you think about it, a pet bird in a cage doesn't make sense. Animals are supposed to have endless sky exploration. We would best advise you not to bring up any matter if you would prefer your pet bird didn't hear.
Oh, wow.
Sounds like my Alexa.
That's hilarious.
I mean, when I was watching the Vice video, they were kind of like showing how they like made these older TV news videos to show like how far back it went. So, but it was like all done during modern time, but they had like an old MacBook, not a MacBook, but like an old Apple, big old box computer. I'm like, they really spared no expense in a way to get this going.
That's great. I kind of dig it. I mean, I kind of dig it. I'm trying to think of a conspiracy theory that's on the level of birds aren't real. That's like, I don't believe and I can't get behind, and I'm struggling and I don't know why.
It's not like you.
No, I mean, there's so many out there that like I could buy into a little bit, but
apparently they call them satirical conspiracy theories, and another one is about the city in Germany that people say doesn't really exist. It's the imagination, but it actually does exist.
So that was pretty much all I had. The only other thing I wanted to, talk about was the supporters of the movement are known as the Bird Brigade. And in November 2021, they posted a billboard outside of Twitter headquarters demanding they change their logo and had a little rally on it.
So now that Twitter's not Twitter anymore, I guess they've won.
I know, right? I should have seen if there was like a follow-up to it and like some people celebrating on the Instagram page or something saying, "Oh my gosh, we did it."
That's funny.
All right. I want to share this it's like 4 minutes of the Vice video. So let me see if I can share my screen and see if the audio works. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah, make sure you share this out. When you click share screen, there will be a thing in the bottom that says share sound.
I don't see share sound.
If you click share screen and then you see that on the bottom where it says share, on the left hand side,
there we go.
Share sound.
Okay. All right.
I've asked myself, why have I played this character for 5 years? I think it's because that was the story that felt worth telling and seemed to really become more and more of a reflection of America and a reflection of this feeling that I feel when I go on Twitter or that I feel when I walk outside, that lunacy. And embodying that kind of in the real world, seemed very worth it.
Are you ready to march? After today, the Twitter logo will no longer be a bird. Birds aren't real. 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 Birds aren't real.
Look at the facts. Just look up online.
I mean, this is something I think we inherently always knew, but it's about time that we actually talk about it.
I've never met someone that showed up at a Birds Aren't Real rally thinking it's real, except for if they think it's real and they're not a part of the movement. Everyone is coming together, all with their own signs and all ready to play their part.
They monitor all aspects of our lives. Sometimes you'll think about a product and then next thing you know, you're getting targeted ads on your phone.
Everyone's talking in character from the moment that you step onto the rallies. Everyone's acting, but there's been no conversation about it. There's no plan or rehearsal or huddle. It's people show up and they know the role.
I really want to wind up on the Birds Aren't Real Instagram. That's really my only goal, and I'm going to be very honest about that.
We are here today to protest and make Twitter change their logo to the propagandist pro-bird brainwash imagery. Why is the Twitter logo a bird? Why? Because they're trying to brainwash you.
The rallies, to me, are a really clear, simple representation of what I like about the idea. A fictional character can exist in the real world, and the people in the real world are playing characters in the story, same as the fictional character, but they don't even know that just by being themselves, they're in the story. They're in the piece.
Right now, we're about to march around Twitter headquarters 3 times like it's Jericho and take this building to the ground. Are you ready? Yeah! Marching guns! Both ways! Marching guns! Both ways!
We're all telling ourselves a story about our lives to ourselves. Everyone is doing that to some degree, tweaking elements of themselves to find that identity. I've thought of that about myself too with Birds Aren't Real. Birds Aren't Real has been my way to find identity and purpose and community, just like a conspiracy theorist.
This is a good capstone to kind of place on this whole experience, and I think being out of character kind of allows us to talk about it and process it together. We're brothers and we'll always be brothers and we'll always be best friends, but I'm excited to get back to that because doing this together has kind of put a strain on our, friendship.
It's a new chapter.
It is a new chapter for sure. And that's a good way of looking at it.
I think when I do get back home to Arkansas, I will miss the character because, but like taking that feeling of lunacy and like role playing it and like laughing about it with people. I don't know. There's something that feels sort of healing about that to me.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah,
You're doing God's work.
Crazy, dude.
Love you guys. Bye. Have fun.
He's like a mini celebrity almost.
I know, right?
He's the Gen Z's president.
Right? I mean, I give it to him. I mean, he's doing something. He's bringing people together. Yeah, good stuff.
Especially when they went to Twitter. That makes me laugh.
I know,
you know
right?
what? I can't say that I've seen their emblem as a bird though anymore. Is it?
No, they changed it recently.
Well, even before that, I mean, I don't
They're
know.
called
when he
like
did
X, I think.
Oh, is it really not called Twitter at all?
Mm-mm.
It's called
Yeah.
X.
I think when Threads came out, they changed it, right?
Yeah, it's called X, even though it's still twitter.com. Yeah, in April 2023, it merged with X Holdings and therefore became a part of the X Corp. And the X Corp is what Elon owns.
Oh, so it's similar to Meta and Facebook.
Yeah. Does it say when then?
I still think Zuckerberg's a lizard person.
Oh, absolutely. So is Elon.
Elon's a robot.
Ooh, that actually no. I think Elon's from the future.
Or that?
Black.
Yeah, I buy that.
Yeah.
Future robot.
Yeah.
I'd like to see them duke it out.
They were supposed to, weren't they? Wasn't there supposed to be some big fight of them two fighting?
Yeah, a few months ago, I think.
That's old
I
news.
would take it out. Old news. Yeah, it doesn't tell me why they. So they used to be Vine, and then remember Vine? I love Vine.
Yeah,
and then
Vine.
Periscope.
Vine was fun.
I saw some stories somewhere about how that died off.
Yeah, was it on Hulu or HBO? And the creators of Vine, like sold to Twitter, and then they went and made that quiz. Remember that quiz game that was like super big in like 2014 or something?
Yeah.
And everyone would sign on. What's it called? Like quiz something. That's what it was about.
Huh.
And then that died too.
Because Vine, I mean, somebody else like what Vine used to be is what that one stupid thing TikTok is now.
Yep.
They all missed their boat
basically.
with that.
Oh yeah. TikTok is like definitely what Vine was, and it's funny that like you up with like this new thing
without the Chinese
right
spies.
I can't have TikTok on my phone. So
is it Quizlet, Amanda?
Quizlet, yeah.
Yeah.
That was created, and it was such a big hit, but they couldn't take the fame apparently. It's a very interesting documentary. Yeah, it doesn't say when it was moved to X, but now it apparently is called X.
Interesting.
X Corp. And that is what it is. It's currently rebranded to X. But like, I don't know people like, I don't know anybody who still uses or use Twitter, to be honest with you. Like, I don't have any friends that use Twitter still. I got banned from Twitter, so.
I never used it. I think I had an account years ago, but I don't even know how to get into that account. But
you know what I wish I could figure out? I had it because like when I would go to conferences, it was like really big to like tweet about like what you heard at the conference and connect that way. But I only used it for that. And then I may have said some very mean words to a certain Ohio Republican senator or Congress. And I was
never
put in prison. Twitter prison. And I was just like, screw it. And then when Elon bought it, I was like, I think I'm just done with this. So honestly, the only thing I ever really use is Instagram. And even that I'm getting sick of.
I do like Instagram.
I only have Facebook because that's how my father-in-law talks to us. Like he doesn't text or whatever, he just like messages on Facebook. So. But yeah, now everyone has Threads, which wasn't Threads just basically like Twitter,
basically,
but for Facebook. And then Instagram was trying to tell me that was like the way you can talk to your friends, and I'm like, I just use the chat function.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't like Threads.
What we should be doing?
I don't even know what Threads are. Besides,
me either.
Stuff that hangs off your clothes.
It's more. I think they were trying to brand it as like more for the Twitter of Insta than. Insta was more for pictures and stuff. This is more for like words.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't like it.
I think, here's what I think. I think Justin Timberlake needs to bring MySpace back. I think he owns it. And then just let me figure out my password because I don't remember it and the email that it goes to, I don't think exists anymore. And then just let the millennials have their MySpace and call it a day.
Back the top 10.
Yeah, MySpace was fun.
Yeah, let me have my MySpace where I learned how to like code and put pretty songs, and I would change my top 10 if anybody says that you or not. That's how Adam would know if I was mad at it. You know.
And write your own HTML code to make it pretty.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I loved it. I'm sad that it went away. And I think we need to bring it back. And I feel like that's my new conspiracy theory I'm going to jump on. Let's bring MySpace back.
Maybe he'll sell it to us and we can like start a
right
GoFundMe to buy MySpace.
It's still a thing. Just Googled it. It's owned by Viant Technology LLC. Can I sign on or do I have to like recreate? I don't even know what password I used. Oh, I can sign on my Facebook. Oh my God, what if? Oh, never mind. It said no. I tried. It said no.
Oh.
It says use Facebook or Twitter or your email to sign in.
Interesting.
Don't have a MySpace account? No worries. Joining it is easy. I don't even remember what password what email or password I used.
Your AOL one.
I didn't have an AOL password or email. I wasn't cool like that.
I thought you did. It was just Messenger?
Yeah. My dad was like, we're not going to get that AOL money.
Then it might have been your Hotmail.
Could have been my Hotmail, which I could not tell you what that was. It is not my Gmail, apparently.
No. Gmail was not around then.
I was actually wondering if it might be my like St. Leo email address.
That's what I would have guessed.
Originally, Facebook had to have a college university email address.
Let's see if it is that.
I don't. MySpace didn't have that though.
Nope.
No.
It was not. Yeah, but that was the only address I was using was my St. Leo address. I remember I was part of the twos because I was the only one that had like there was like A Davis one and I was A Davis two. Or there was already A Davis. I was A Davis two. Now they probably just need to play different. I don't know. I would have to. Even if it was that email, I wouldn't even be able to go back because I don't even know the password for that email or how to access it. So,
you want to hear some story real quick?
Yeah, of course.
Sure.
So, I signed up to do like a non-credit continuing education course through AACC.
Oh, nice.
And it's been 20 years since I've taken a class at AACC.
That's been 20 years.
They had to reactivate my account.
Oh, wow.
It was a whole week-long ordeal. Huh? Yeah.
They could just give you a new one?
They reactivated my old account.
I'd probably have to go through the same trouble then, because it's probably been that long for me.
That's so funny. Now I feel like I should like find out. Tell St. Leo. I want my email. That's awesome. It makes me laugh. Like now I'm curious.
I know. I tried to do it with my Gmail and I like put in all my information. And then when I went to go register with the class, they're like, you have to be 16 years or older to take a continuing education course. I'm like, what?
You're like, well, 20 years ago, that might have been a question, but.
Yeah, when I was talking to tech support, they're like, when's your birthday? I'm like, I'm definitely not 16. I'm way over 16.
Yeah. I could technically have a 16-year-old.
Right? Just like Erica.
Yeah, my niece is 16.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Adam wanted to do the NFL, like a student NFL thing. So to like put in your student ID. So he made me do it. And he's like, what's your password? And I was like, oh. And he's like, oh, okay. So now he like signs me up for all these student things. And I said, well, buddy, we're only going to have one more year. And then we're out. So you better use it now.
Get the student Hulu experience.
Well, did I tell you how when I was in Spain, like, it's probably been like 6 years now. I wanted the student discount to go into like one of the museums because it was like free compared to 20 euros. And I showed her my student ID. It's like, oh no, this is for younger people. And I was like,
That's hilarious.
I was like 33 at the time, so not as old now. I don't think my wrinkles have come out as much, but yeah. She's like, no, this is for the younger people. And I was like, okay. I'm like, it says student. And she's like, no. Fine.
No.
No, Mr. Superman, not here.
Your Italian sounds like a Romanian.
I was doing Spanish.
Yeah, she was doing Spanish.
Oh, well, your Spaniard sounds like a Romanian.
Romanian.
No.
I guess I was thinking Italian museums.
I mean, it's still a romantic language, so.
True.
Italian and Spanish are very similar.
They are.
Like when I studied abroad in Italy, I just spoke a lot of Spanish and figured it out.
Yep.
That does not
and
work.
That's how I got an A in Italian.
Yeah, you're like, I remember Mr. Menudo taught me this in Spanish.
No. Oh God, it was Miss Taylor. I had Miss Taylor, remember?
Taylor.
Yes, and I hated that class.
You remember she used to be able to keep her like food tray on her hip?
Yeah.
Like this woman had the biggest bazookas, like so big, and she would literally just balance her food on it.
Holy cow!
Just, like eat. That's right.
It was insane.
Got her own
and honestly,
food tray.
Now that I think about it, I don't get
tit tray.
Consider those for tit tray.
Yeah.
I wish I had a tit tray.
Well, it's been great. Another great episode on the Waters Run Deep podcast. Please remember to rate and review on your platform of choice. I say it at least once an episode, if not twice. It's really important. It really helps us out. It doesn't take much to go in there and throw give us some stars on your platform of choice. That really helps us out. Like I said, it gets us up on the ratings and helps people find us easier. It's a simple thing to do, and it really helps us out. Like I said, the offer still stands to let me know if you throw 5 stars on there, and we will be glad to send you some stickers. If you're interested in being a guest, like I said, you can go to the Waters Run Deep podcast at gmail.com. Send us an email. You can even bring your own topic. And of course, check us out on Instagram, TWRD_podcast. And thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you on the next one.